This is Kevin B, better known as Skeeter, here at Let's Talk About Adoption and Foster Care. As you can see, I'm out here in the elements, in the backyard, change the scenery. So, we just want to, be authentic and, just do something different, mix it up a little bit. Today's episode is going to be, I think it's episode 3. The name of this episode is Identity. Before we jump into that, hey, let me let you know something. You're going to hear some dogs in the back. Right behind. We have a dog kennel right behind us, so you're going to hear that. You're going to probably hear splashing water. You're going to probably hear all kinds of things. Just to let you know, that's where we at. We're not in the woods, but damn near close. But anyway, we're going to give a little shout out to a business. It's a personal trainer that I work out with. His name is Urban Men's. It's our co-owner, Sean. They're on my website, www.livingmyshadows.org, under vendors. I am 84 Sports. That's what they do. Me and my wife, we go to them, and they like 2 minutes away from us. That's why we go with them, because not only are they good, they're just convenient. So we have no excuses. We go 3 days a week, and it's been very helpful. We also want to give a shout out to myself again. I can't stress this enough. We ain't got nothing to do. We under this pandemic. You like to read? Go ahead and purchase this book, Living My Shadows, Dreams Do Come True. It's about my journey from adoption, foster care, U.S. Army, and finding my biological family. And then there's book 2, Shadows of Emotions, Life After the Dream. Talks about after I find my biological parents. Talks about all the emotional things that I go through, ups and downs, roller coasters, stuff like that. The book is going to be helpful for those that are in the foster care system and those that are adopted. The money that I get from it, hopefully I can make enough money and donate it to, donate part of it to some charities that are part of these type of organizations as far as adopted and foster care system. Not so much just giving it to the organization, but help with the education of what adoptee and a foster care kid goes through, especially a foster care individual that kind of grows out of the foster care system and they just put them in the streets. And the adoptee, the emotional roller coaster that we go and we tend to deal with every day of our lives. And the only time that we can deal with it is when we express our feelings to other adoptees, because only they understand. So we want you to, purchase a book when you can. It's an easy read. Most people read it in a day and a half. You can purchase it on my site, Living My Shadows, Dreams That Come True, under books. So that's it for that. We want to give a shout out to Keith Sweat. He's the one that y'all was listening to. That Keith Sweat something else, boy. He gets in trouble back in the day. But anyway, we want to give a shout out to him. Well, let's just jump right on in. We don't want to be too long. We just want to go ahead and knock this out. Identity. Let me tell you a little bit story about myself. I was born Kevin Hodge, and I went through a lot of daggone identity crisis with my name. And who would ever think that a name or not knowing yourself will cause you all kinds of problems, even when you're almost 60 years old. And so these are the things that I'm going through some of the things I have went through in life, dealing with identity. I never knew who I was. I was born Kevin Hodge, and then, a couple of years later, next day, I have Barnett as my last name. So I had to go through life explaining why my name was Hodge, and then why my name was Barnett all of a sudden. And some people got it, some people didn't. You got to understand, back in the 60s and 70s, adoptions and stuff, everything was just kept secretly, and you was frowned upon because you adopted, you was that baby or that kid and nobody wanted you, or you was troubled or whatever. And this is the stigma that you had to deal with. Even today, it's a stigma that comes with being a foster care kid or being an adoptee. Now, everybody don't go through them situations, but the vast of us do go through that. But in between the Barnett and the Kevin Hodge, I had another name change. Changed my first name from Kevin to Ishmael, kept Barnett as a middle name, and changed my last name to Ali. And the reason behind that is, I just got upset. As I was going through life trying to search who I was, I wind up, getting attitude towards my birth mother, wondering why she gave me up. And so I didn't want nothing to do with her or the name that she gave me. And so I wound up changing my name to Ishmael, which is something that comes out of the Bible. I just spell it differently. It means God heareth thee. And, Ishmael was the firstborn of Abraham. And we all know the story, those that are into the Bible. And so I came up with that first name, and then I came up with Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali was my hero. When I was going through my trials and tribulations as a foster care kid, I saw Ali, how he talked to the establishment and how he, was able to navigate through life being himself, and the confidence and how he stood on what he believed, was something that stood out to me. And so I call myself, trying to align myself with him, and I changed my last name to Ali. So there you have it. You have the Ishmael, and then you have the Ali, and then I wound up changing my name back because of I had a grandkid, named Kevin, and I wanted to align myself with him, and so I wound up changing my name back to Kevin. So I kept everything: Ishmael, James, Ali, Barnett, and just put everything together. Still, it's a process that I'm going through. I'm trying to still identify who I am. Found out who my birth parents was. Of course, my last name was Hodge, and then my father's last name was not Black. And so, as I checked history on both names, I learned more about myself. I learned about the Caribbean connection that I had from my grandmother, my grandfather on my mother's side. He was born in Anguilla. Then wound up chilling out in St. Kitts for a while before he came to New York. And I found out about, my father's side of the family, where my grandmother came from England, spent a lot of time in Jamaica, and wound up going to Florida and shot up to Asbury Park in New Jersey. So as you can see, I found out a lot of things about my history. I even went as far as back as slavery on the not Black side, and my great grandfather owned slaves, and it's amazing how you feel once you find out some of the things about yourself and why you act the way you act. I have both on both sides of the family. I have white and Black. I have Puerto Rican. I have people from all the islands in West Indies. I got family in the UK that I have talked to. I've talked to a lot of people, and I've learned a lot of different things from both sides of the family. So I appreciate the history and the learning, but even with all that, I still have identity crisis, and it's sad. And so what I'm trying to do is collect monies, and along with other adoptees, we're just trying to educate people on the adoptee system. It has a lot of flaws in it. It has some good things and had a lot of flaws in it. And I don't think that they take the adoptees seriously. But we have a lot of identity crisis. We have problems that we just can't solve. We're kept away from our records. I didn't find out anything about my birth records until I was 56 years old. That whole time, not knowing who I was, medical records and everything, like I talked about in the other past episode, all that was robbed of me, and it's robbed mostly from most adoptees, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You should let them know, because all you're doing, yes, you're providing the home and things of that nature to the adoptee, but at the same time, that kid was born by another family. They have another family that they need to know. They need to know their blood ties. They need to know where they come from. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even today, it's a demand for kids. We treat it like cattle. It's funny because I have a Twitter account, Living My Shadows, and it's funny that some people get adoptees mixed up with animals, adopt a pet and things like that. And I'm talking about, being adopted as a human being. And then, the word adoption itself is just crazy, how we get compared to animals and things. It's just a whole lot of things on the adoptee side of the house when it comes to identity that causes a lot of problems. So my whole thing is those that are adopting kids, be aware of this. Don't hold any secrets. Don't hold their records. Don't you know tell lies or anything like that. Let them know who they are. And those families that adopt kids that are in the family, same thing. You know, they're your relatives. Let them know. Let them know that Uncle Joe is their father or whatever. You know, don't let them find that out on their own. You know, I'm a part of a lot of groups, and I see a lot of stories about individuals being adopted and then thrown back in the system and then getting adopted again, being thrown back in the system and getting adopted again. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. The mental psyche is very damaging. You know, I happen to have a strong mind. I've been through a lot. As we do these podcasts, you learn more about me. I'm trying to be more authentic and trying to be honest to everyone so they can understand the psyche of someone, what they go through. Some people can fight these things off and some people can't. We deal with suicide issues, depression, all these things. We've been molested. We've been verbal abuse. We've been mentally mental abuse. We got all kinds of abuse, you name it, psychic. We've been through so much. We've been through so much, and we thank God that we have vehicles like social media, YouTube, podcasts, that we can share our story and bring things to light, you know. And so that's what we plan on doing. A lot of people are going to be shocked and surprised that, you know, that I've have went through some of these things. But as you see in the book don't tell all. The book doesn't tell all. There are also still some secrets that the book did tell, but people have to figure it out. You know, that's my therapy. That's the way I do. That's what I do. I write books. I do all this for therapy for myself because I've come to realize that I will never overcome a lot of things, you know, but I have to find ways of handling it. And this is my way of handling it, is writing, talking about it, and expressing myself and hoping that other people can get something out of it. You know, you just can't keep this stuff inside of you. You know, it's a battle. Every day it's a battle. It's a battle. And, you know, sometimes you come out winning and sometimes you come out losing, but the war continues. So I just wanted everyone to know about, you know, just, you know, what they have in front of them, and that you can overcome and you can do anything you want to do in life.